Hello and welcome to this week's video. Well, I call it this week's video. I think it's going to be several videos for the foreseeable future because I'm finally about to start my British Airborne project for the bridge at Arnhem. And as you can see, a considerable amount of items have built up over the last 12 to 18 months. And all sitting waiting for the project to start, and finally I've cleared my decks enough to begin the project. So I thought this week I'd just take you through some of the items that I'm going to be building over the coming weeks towards the project. Right, let's take a brief look at some of the individual items that I've pulled together for this project. There's no particular place to start, so I'll start with this one, which is the Universal Carrier by War Games. And I have seen some photographs of one of these that took part in Arnhem, so I'll obviously be looking to make this model when I build it as much like that one as possible. So that in itself is going to be a little project. Another one is the Horsa Glider by Sarissa. Now, I've only ever built their buildings before, so this will be a bit different for me. And obviously with it being one of the main gliders that we used on the event, I thought, well, really I could introduce one of these, and whether I have it as a complete vehicle or build it, I know you can take it apart and use it as a wreck that way, or even do even more damage to it. I'm not sure yet. I think it'll be a decision I make when I actually come to the kit, but I thought that it would fit into a number of different battles, not necessarily the Arnhem part, but I want to have a few different options for my British Airborne when I build the army. So it seemed a good one to start with. One other Sarissa kit is the Destroyed European Townhouse. Now I thought this one would make a good building to use at the foot of the bridge, like one of the buildings that the British Airborne took position in when trying to defend the bridge. There are some other buildings that I've looked at, but at the moment this is the only one that I've gone for. As I say, all of these things have been built up over the last 18 months, so I should thank my children for most of these, because they've bought them for Father's Day and Christmas Day and my birthday and things like that. So I think they'll be glad to see me actually using some of them. But as I say, I have left it till my very last projects. So there's nothing else between me and it now. So now's the time. Anyway, the next item. I got these because they were on sale at the time, and I got them as part of an offer, so not quite sure how I'll use these other than I suppose they could be target areas to aim for. I'll just show you one of them. They're obviously the dropped canister supplies. So I suppose it would be a good one for the troops to get to, an objective. And I think there's 3 in the set. No, 4 in the set. So yes, it would be. They could be good objective points. Obviously they'll need priming and painting up as well. I don't know whether there'll be much we can see in this one because obviously it's not going to be built, but it's the British Airborne Jeep and Trailer by Warlord. Just briefly open the box, but thanks, Alex. There's the metal parts. Main body of the Jeep. And the trailer. Not sure whether I'll be using it with or without the trailer at the moment, but time will tell. And they've got the card and the transfers in there as well. Right, two little figures here. I can't remember the actual title of these. I think it's something like Never Surrender, but it's airborne. It's obviously one airborne chap carrying an injured friend. I actually got these from the Warlord's Open Day. For some reason I've got two in my pack. Whether I can use both or not, I'm not really sure, but I'll certainly be using one of them. I might actually use one as a companion soldier for the medic that I build from the plastic kits. I think, I know there are some metal medics. I'm not mad keen on the look of most of them, but I was thinking of probably trying to kit bash one from some extra sprues that I've built, that I've ordered. The other individual troops that I've got is this one, the British Airborne character set from Warlord, which is Urquhart, Frost and Water. So again, I'm not sure whether I'll use all of the figures, but I'll certainly be using at least one of those, but probably two. Right, these are quick things to show really. I've ordered these from Gamers Grass because I'm thinking of using these on some of the basing, and I've also ordered some Patchy Plains material from Geek Gaming that I might use on the bases as well. Although there's an alternative. I'm still waiting for it to actually arrive. It's this one, because obviously any troops that are fighting in Arnhem and around the buildings, that might make a more suitable base for them. So again, that'll be a decision I make when I've finally built them. So, but as I say, I haven't got that at the moment. It hasn't arrived. So put them to one side. This one is a British Airborne cut down Morris, which I've got as a tow vehicle. Yeah, you can see the troops and the metal pieces there. So that figure looks pretty good. Just pull one of them out to have a look at. Yeah, for a metal figure, that looks pretty good, I think. I don't know what you think, but the details, the face looks really good on that. Sorry, I don't know whether you can see it properly with this light, but that any better? Yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. Have a look at one of the other figures. Yeah, this chap looks good as well. I know I shouldn't be surprised really, but I'm sure, like me, you've come across some metal figures and they're not exactly over impressive with their faces and things. You know, they tend to look a little bit, well, shocking detail. But these are really nice, really nice. And that's basically it for my vehicles. I'm not looking at building a Churchill or anything because, you know, they didn't land or anything, so I didn't think they'd be suitable really to add, even though it's, you know, I've got tanks for all the other nations I've built, but I don't think I'll be using one of them at the moment. Two basic things, there's not much to see there. I've just ordered some new varnish because I was running out for the project. One thing that is a bit different for me is I've always sprayed, primed all my figures using army paint before. But with the British Airborne uniform being as colourful as it is, I was wondering whether the army grey that you can get as a spray from Army Painter might be a bit dark and it might just take the colour of the models down a bit more. So this will be the first time I've ever used Citadel. Grey Seer, the colour is. It'll be the first time I've ever used this. So if anybody's got any feedback on that, whether it is any good, I know I've seen some people saying, you know, it's brilliant stuff, but it's always nice to hear it from another modeller, you know, the pros and cons of it, because I wouldn't want to use it if it's not going to work out well. But yeah, any feedback on that would be appreciated. Another little newbie for me, because as you're probably aware, most of my paint, so I have got some Vallejo, I've got some Game Colour, but the majority are Army Painter. That's just what I started with. It wasn't, you know, it's just what I went for. I have got one or two Citadel colours, but this is a contrast paint. Now, the only reason why I bought this one, it's Gilliman Flesh. I saw somebody, I can't remember the name of the YouTuber, using contrast paint to do an airborne, British Airborne figure, and I thought the face looked brilliant when he'd used this stuff. So I thought, you know, I've always gone with, you know, two base colours and a wash, but I didn't know whether to give this a try. So again, if anyone out there who's used it, especially in combination with other paints, you know, if you can give me any feedback on it below, that'd be brilliant. Right, next one. I haven't actually, I've opened the packet, but I haven't got this one out. This is it's obviously I'm presuming a 3D printed building that I thought I could adapt to suit Arnhem that I saw on eBay. Again, unfortunately, I can't remember unless it's in here. Oh, this is what it describes it as. World War II, number 3, damaged shop. A 1.56 scale resin model kit. It looks to be by the Micro World models. I actually purchased it from eBay, so I'm not sure if that was who I bought from direct or not. But I will try and find out a bit more detail about it when I actually come to build it, and when I do, it will maybe feature as a video in itself. So I mean, the majority of the buildings that I've already got I'll be using, but I just wanted some of the more iconic type buildings for the, you know, the base of the bridge where the British were defending. I thought, you know, it'd be worth adding a few in there. Oh. That to one side. Right, I'll skip the actual obvious and go to this one. Again, this is one that I've bought off eBay, and it's obviously a generic bridge. You can see there's not a massive amount of detail on it. Obviously, looking at the scale of the Arnhem Bridge, if I was to try and build the real thing to scale, it as I have, you know, just I set mine up on a battle map on an extended dining table, so the bridge would take up the entire map. So I'm going to adapt this one, and although this is like a basic bridge, you can see it better in some of the pictures, I'm going to try as best I can to make it look a little bit like the Arnhem Bridge. So what I might be doing is replacing the bottom plate that it connects into with a wider piece, and then recut the holes myself, so you can actually have the walkways down the side of it that this hasn't got, and then probably look at putting in some more detail on the actual bridge to make it look more the part. And a little while back, I put a very short video up looking back at my Son Bridge project. Unfortunately, it was mainly photographs because it was before I started videoing. But I did make my own canal using acrylics on a decorating sheet, and then clear acrylic for the water. Now, whether I reuse that for this battle or whether I make a new one, I'm not sure yet. But I'll be looking to modify this one anyway for that kind of battle. I've got a couple of extra sprues. One of them's over there. That'll be to make up an extra squad. And then I've got this, which is the first thing that I started with, the British Airborne Bolt Action Starter Army. As you can see, it's still wrapped. I think this was from about 18 months ago now, so its time has come, and this is what you should be able to build from that. Just leave that on the screen for a little bit so you can have a look. Alright, let's open her up. I don't think I'm alone in hating this stuff. Is there anything in the world that's not wrapped with cling film? Right, let's open her up. Ooh. There's a little painting guide, and then the details of what's on the sprue. These are good. I must admit, I appreciate these. It certainly helps me, especially with my eyesight, to identify parts. So, whole set of bases. Ooh, some big bases. Oh. Even more bases. Guess I'm not going to go short of bases. And then you've got, I'll have a quick look at. I see you've got the Polish heads as well as the British. Not sure whether I'm going to go down that line yet, whether I will make any. Maybe I could make up a squad of Polish. Like to, but yeah, I'll see how I go with what I've got. But the detail on it looks really crisp. I mean, I know you'd expect that, but to my eye, these look really detailed. Must admit I'm excited to build them now. It's been a long time waiting to get to these. You know, I think you're probably aware that I do love my band of brothers, and that was the first section that I went to. But I did start to realise when I was building up two different airborne armies, one for winter and one for summer, and various German armies, that, you know, I think I'm overlooking something here. There's no British. So this is going to make up for that long wait. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. And you've got how many on each? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sixes, 36. And then I've got another 2 sprues. So that's like 42, 48 altogether. Mind you, some of them will probably be used to kit bash, so well, that certainly gives me something to be going on with. And then you've got the metal figures. And this one is the 3-inch mortar team and a Vickers MMG. And just take one out. I must have been unlucky with some of my previous metal figures, because I had some diabolical casts before and the faces were awful. And that, you know, that's why I always had a preference for the plastic, because, you know, because they were crisper details. But they must be doing something different with these, because these are a lot better. I mean, that said, I mean, some of the metal figures that I've got probably weren't even Warlords, so, you know. But I know I have had some from Warlords that the details have been a bit lacking. But these are certainly... I'll show you that one. I don't want to argue with that. detail wise. I think that's pretty good. Kit on the back. Another little base there, and the transfers. Thank you, Morella, for packing it. And then in this one, you've got the light mortar team, a flamethrower team, and a 6-pounder gun. So that's what my Morris will be the transport for, the tow for, pulling that. Again, the figures look really good detail. The face is really good. The kit. Yeah, I really like them. They're really good. So, right, that really brings you to the end of my goodies pile. As you can see, I've certainly got my work cut out. I'm not entirely sure how I'll be covering these, whether it'll be an occasional update video. Some of the separate items I might make as videos in their own right, you know, like the Sarissa building or the Sarissa glider. Well, let me know what you think. What you think would be the most useful way to tackle it. But you know, I'm happy to give you an update as I progress through my my collection of airborne. So that's it for this week. I hope you found that interesting, and you know, if you've got any advice or feedback that you'd like to give me on this, or things that you'd like me to see me do, you know, please drop a comment. I always answer. And if you do want to follow me on the journey, please consider subscribing, and that way, you know, whenever I drop a video, you'll see it first. So thanks again for joining me, and bye for now.